we could capture to the W drive again. I really think the actual problem was the fact that that Adobe was it was difficult to hunt down the reason for the crash, but
Jack, we tried that.
The Media Express capture and also the USB capture device helped me discover that it was actually the Adobe program that was the root of the cause.
Jack, we tried to capture right to the stock number with Media Express, and it dropped too many frames and shot an error and quit capturing.
Oh, all right, sounds good. All right, well then, no, I'm not anticipating it to be an issue because at that point you have a compressed MP4 file. The file is not as large. At the end of the day, if it does crash, then we will have to think through a different strategy, but I wouldn't be afraid to, at this point, do any editing of the video on the W drive.
Sure, so it can be captured, and at the end of the day, if nothing else, we can put it in with the file, the stock number.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so if we have to, we can make an adjustment to the flow that would allow us to grab that, do the edit, and put it back in. But if you can't do the edit straight in there, I think that will save you the pain of worrying about what revision you put in there, and if it's the right one, is it version A, is it version B, etc.
And then Greg had a question earlier. He was talking to Steve about, to make sure to see about that, was if about the file folders, the sub files, to if everything will still be drawn from that, with the way the software program is going to be written.
So does everything need to be on the root of the stock number, or can we create subfolders under the stock number that says captured stills, spin video, 360 image, green screen? Like we create a file structure under the stock number. Is that?
I would just stick to a naming scheme and ignore doing subfolders.
Okay.
That's going to be easiest for a programming component, and there's no programmatic structure to auto create those files. So again, you just be copying and pasting those folders, and then also copying and pasting or directing the files to go into those subfolders. So
right, but we have to choose where things are going right now, right? And so the way their workflow is set up, they have to go in and do, through the search function of the Windows Explorer, they have to put the stock number in anyway to get it to go there. And what's coming up through their workflow is actually two results. Yeah, on
I can get rid of that recycling bin. I will do that as soon as I hang up, because there's one that is like at recycle.
Yep, that's it.
I will get that resolved in about 15 minutes from us hanging up.
Okay,
I know
good.
what you're talking about.
Good, yeah. If we can just browse right to where it's got to go and select that folder, because it's confusing when they look the same, right?
Yep. I'm just going to let you know.
Right on, awesome.
Yep. Okay, we'll get that fixed.
All right, cool.
To get it lined up every time. Do you want him to do that?
Okay, I'm good.
All right, that's fine too. Yeah.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
Yesterday when we talked, you had mentioned creating like a line on the capture screen, so we had the vehicle lined up in the same exact spot every time. You should. Does that ring a bell?
I did.
Well.
Never
so
mind.
I
Steve
had
said
put,
that. Steve said that. Never mind.
Piece of metal, like
I think we can
one
do it.
piece of the pie, and then went 2 pieces of the pie, and put another piece of metal, and then put a marker. I don't know if we can create a digital marker, but
can.
when I did that, I had the timing down to land within about 4 or 5 frames of the exact place that you need to cut to get the perfect
Okay.
loop.
No problem.
Okay.
So basically, I let the machine speed up what I will just call 2 pieces of pie, right? So one section and then a second section, and so I let it run for those 2, and then I finished I don't know, I may have just deleted I just cleared out to open up space the video that I had created with those markers on them. So, I mean, we could just, you know,
Skyline with
Well, I think
Yeah, I
we'll
don't
be
know.
all right. We'll be all right.
sorry, go ahead.
We're good.
Thank you, Jack.
We're good. We'll just boogie with the L's in Santa's Village.
What's that?
I said we'll boogie with the L's in Santa's Village.
Sounds good. All right.
All right. Thanks,
Jack.
Jack. Talk to you later.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
You probably don't even know I was reading in the Google.
Is that a message on there?
Looks like you do, yes. He was fixing something, wasn't he, or something? I don't know.
That's your stock thing. Left that open. Okay. So anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. So there still was a whole bunch of capture files in there from when he was using Adobe to capture with.
So that
Did
cleaned
you hear
up
the
a
file
lot.
size on those things were 30 gig versus that?
Do we need to set up Blackmagic different or anything, or just keep it that compression ratio?
That's what I'll check. I'll check and see if Blackmagic will capture to MP4, which would be a compressed version of what you're doing, which is probably okay.
Shrink everything in there.
It'll be more of a bitrate issue, so it'll still be the same size, but the quality may be a little less. So it might get a little pixely, look a little blurry.
So if it's not that big of a size and difference, why would we want to change it?
Just haven't tested it. It just defaults to AVI. That's all.
I mean, but shouldn't we state AVI if it's going to give us a better picture?
Yes, but if you want a smaller file size, you can't use an AVI.
I thought you said it wasn't that big of a difference in size.
Physical size. 1920 by 1080, they're still going to be the same physical size, still the
I
same
meant
size.
storage size.
Storage size in MP4 is 3 times smaller probably than an AVI.
Okay, that-
4 times smaller maybe.
Okay, that's why I meant by
But-
size, not.
But when the file size decreases, not the actual physical size, you're losing color. So with the loss of color, it starts
So
to get
these
fuzzy.
purple lights may look blue.
Exactly. Those blue lights may look red. Actually, what'll happen is in the shadows, it'll get all grainy. It'll look really bad.
So that would be a test thing, not just.
The green screens I'm editing and doing, I'm transferring over to EJ when I do the file MPEG for.
Yeah, MP4s, yeah.
Yeah, after we do.
Yep, it's good. That's what I would use.
Okay, so now what?
Okay, so you already captured that car, right?
Okay,
And then you
go
got
right.
all the stills that's in that folder.
What's that?
Okay. I just was looking to see if we were in that folder. Okay.
Hey,
so
question. You're not
hold on,
selecting all.
Wait. No questions yet. McCluskey, don't open the app.
Okay.
Double click that folder in there, and it's this guy right here.
Can you just drop
And give it
on
a second and it'll open up. Okay? Double click this, double click this, double click that.
Can't you just drag that on the
I
desktop?
can't. It's got to be in the same folder that all them other stupid nerd files are in.
Gotcha.
I tried that yesterday. I could copy all these local, and then it starts to get convoluted because then the system goes, I already have this file. Well, so just open it from there and it'll stay open. This is closed, this is minimized. There'll be a test later.
How do we get that on all the computers?
This install file will be on the W drive.
Oh, okay, great.
It will be or is.
Hit
Will
Control
be.
C. Now hit the Windows key. See that Windows key right there by your hand? Windows key.
Thanks to space.
And hit that and hit the E key at the same time. Bam. Thank you. Now hit Control V. There it is.
What's it listed as?
McCluskey Frame Extractor.
Okay, got it.
What are those photos down below not attached to anything?
Probably the test photos from when I was messing with it earlier. Hit Shift for me.
So you're just going to
Okay.
delete. Okay.
Goodbye. Okay. So now we browse to where that stock number was on the W drive, right? What's that number? Do you remember?
R93.
This guy?
Here it is. Now, you didn't select everything in that folder, did you?
Nope, I just needed to select that folder.
I asked because we had already put the 360 and the other interior photos in there. So I didn't know if you were polling all them
Which one's
to be
which?
part of the,
Stretch it out.
Does it tell you?
There you go.
how many pictures were there? Did we get that number to divide it?
Call it whatever you want.
What is this?
Centra?
Nissan, remember? Did we have a photo count though? To divide by 18?
I can give it to you.
I mean, they're all close to 2,000, but just so we pull up.
1891.
1890?
1891 divided by 18. That's like 100 and something.
Yeah, it is 100 something. 105.
105.
It's 105.05. So do you need to round up or?
Let's try 106.
Divided by what?
18. 18 stills.
Oh,
So we
should
need
have
to
been
go.
104.
No, we need 18. Okay, you need to
17.
shrink it to get more. Oh man, 105 may have worked. That's how
Yep.
close it is.
It's like,
It's 105.05.
so let's try 105.
How's that noise again?
18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Done.
You see? My shots always is 105. You start in that corner,
Yeah, that you'll, once you do a whole bunch more,
it's gonna
You'll figure that
always
part out.
say 1891.
So he's eyeballing that corner pretty good, so everything should be close where we don't need
should
that
be
line.
really close. I mean, is it gonna be off a couple? Maybe, but nobody's gonna
You've
do
got-
that.
you've got
ever
play.
gonna- You've probably got
40,
30 frames of
30.
play, is my guess. Before somebody's like, well, that
Like
looks
say
a little
if it
different.
went 1895, I'll just delete the last four.
Right, he just deleted that file.
If it
You
makes
should
it
no longer see the
complete
duplicate file and need
spin.
you a search. That
Right?
said recycle.
So you don't want it to get to the end of the spin and then jump. So you might need those extra 4 frames to make it a smooth transition. So the biggest thing is to make sure, the most important thing is to make sure that the looping video is right. Once you have the looping video right, everything's done.
He just deleted that recycle one, so you only get one file, not
Good.
two.
Good.
Because I've accidentally clicked on recycle. I'm like, what is all
Yeah,
this
I
shit?
accidentally did
So
that in the
I'd
process
still
thing.
need to make a loop video.
Yes, you're still doing everything you did before. It's just instead of going through one by one and looking at grabbing those folders out and copying them in. So
So what I'm saying is, when I put the car in there and let it do the run, when I bring the car in here in the Premiere Pro, it's just one rotation. That's all we capture, and I send that straight to there for pictures.
That's
and then I gotta come back over here and make a loop and send that over there. So for the loop,
No.
One loop.
or is
one
this
loop.
on one loop? Okay, that's all I was asking.
One loop. Where's Premiere? Right there. So everything you did right there is perfect. You went through and created that loop and everything, and then you sent it out to Media Encoder.
Okay,
You sent it over to this dude.
all right.
And you did this actually, the way I would do it is it comes in automatically for that high bit rate. That's your spinning loop right there, although it's in the recycle bin. Because there's the recycle bin right there.
I have to get it out.
So wherever that is, he might have actually got rid of it.
Oh, he deleted the recycle one.
So that's okay, we can do this. Where do you want that in that W drive, right?
Yeah, in the R9311.
Just anywhere in there?
Yeah, because y'all haven't did the photos for those yet.
Yeah, photos and 360 are in this folder.
They're already in there.
So, I need to see. I don't.
Here, you can see all the files here. I guess you can't, but we'll save it in there for now. I'm pretty sure that's where it's gonna go. It's just resaving out the spinning video. Should go fast.
So you're doing a photos pull out of, no, right now?
Photos are already done.
Okay.
Okay,
We're
there
just
you go.
creating the spinning video right here, and this is the temp file until it gets done, and then this M4V file will turn into an MP4 file. The AAC file will go away. That's the audio file. It writes them separate, and then you'll see here in a second it'll join them together, and there'll be one MP4 file right here. And then those are gone. And that's your loopy bit. Now,
We still gotta do doors open.
Oh, yeah. You wanna do it
Yeah.
Well, I'll go
Might as well. Liz was talking about getting old earlier and how her body, if she sits too long.
Hogwash.
okay, so you guys got a handle on it?
Well, you know what I'd like to do? I want
Here's what I want to do.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready anytime. Oh, that for them, you mean?
Well, no, I'll just run through this.
Okay, go ahead and just
Procedure.
read through like, I've never done this before, didn't
Okay.
even heard anything you said today.
Okay. So the first thing you need to do is go into the Blackmagic capture.
Okay,
Then you set your position of the car the way you want it.
okay,
Once that's done, then you actually have to capture this by hitting capture, but you guys kind of already know how to do that, right? So once the capture is in there, that capture actually goes into,
you can make any file whatsoever.
yeah, I think you guys put it in the video folder, right?
Okay, yes.
So once it's in that video folder, you grab that out and you bring it into Premiere.
Okay,
Now, all I did was just drag it in there.
sure.
There it is. I'm gonna delete this guy. You drag it into there. I get rid of the audio, and then, oops,
The most no I've seen.
And how did you expand that track?
Control plus,
Control plus, okay,
Control minus, or zoom in, zoom out.
okay,
So,
Real quick, you want to show
and
the
then
starting point?
I duplicate this track right here.
This one.
Just duplicated the track,
okay,
and then in this track, I drop the opacity down so I can see the car.
sure.
So, other means coming
Pick a
around.
spot.
As soon as I see it go right there, I've started. Plate. As soon as it gets
So
right
all I'm
here.
doing is using Alt and the arrow keys to get it exact.
Then that's
once it
standing in
lines
that
up.
corner.
You'll see it kind of start to join in there.
Okay,
There it is. And then what I do is I cut both files,
Then click on it real quick.
delete that guy, delete that guy. Now you have a completed loop. Make sure.
okay,
that-
good.
Now you're doing a loop. You just said you don't want a loop.
Hold on, man. You don't even know what I'm doing. You don't know. Okay, good. So that's good. So now I've got a loop.
Okay,
I can test it and make sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I probably had. Yeah, I got one frame in there. That's wrong. I don't have a loop. Hang on, stop just a second. Stop your video.
okay, go
real
ahead.
quick.
Stop video.
Hold on, I want to make sure something here. So here's the thing I'm a little concerned with on making the loop that way. So because that thing is not starting exactly in the same every time, I'm thinking that,
Yeah, because I let it go over a few frames so I can blend it the first time you showed me.
right on. So right there, that's actually a loop. It's looping from the back side. See how you can't tell? It's just looping, right? But this point is the point I'm worried about. If I copy this again, hold on a second, let me see.
Why does it get dark there?
I'm adjusted the opacity.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, I just thought it was light and then the sun went behind a cloud.
For some reason the key frame would be on.
Yeah. Try this again here.
Talk to HR. When we have time, you can go upstairs to go over and make one with Megan. But
I can share this.
you pretty much, you got your username, password, know how to get in.
I know mine. I don't know if she knows what hers though.
And you automatically have an hour taken out for lunch. You don't have to clock in and out for lunch.
You see what's happening there,
I
EJ?
gotta run my vacation. All right. I want to run up now. Let's get that on. Steve, you gonna be here for a minute?
No.
I gotta run this paperwork
Okay.
upstairs.
Yeah.
So that's working. That's looping fine. The problem is that on the front side of this guy, if I were to copy this again, it's not consistent, right?
Good.
It's not. It's going to jump. See?
So
it's only looping to itself. So you need to trim the front side too. And that's what we're not doing. So in order to trim the front side, you need to do this.
You got a dead spot, yeah, on the front.
So you see what I did there, EJ? All right. So I know that this part loops right. So what I need to do is now take this, drag it back here so that it snaps into the end, and then I got to cut this front side off right here so that they're both identical. Now, I'll bet if I drag this to the end, it'll loop. Hey, buddy, can I call you right back? Okay, I'll do it. Thanks. Bye. So this should loop here, no problem. Looped, right? We all agree it looped to okay?
Yes.
yeah. Now what did you do again?
Okay, hold on. Now here's what I'm going to check, because that worked before, right? So now I'm going to copy this again
Let's see if it works.
and just see if it loops again on this backside. And it did.
Nope.
Not. Mother effer.
Because maybe you need to copy the first frame that you cut.
Well, it's jumping more than that, though, isn't it?
Well, it's dragging up to speed. The other one's at speed, right? At the end, is that speed?
Let's try
Oh yeah,
this.
you maybe take these
The front
key
is not.
frames off, the speed and all that. I don't know.
Well,
why.
they're not lining up here is the problem.
Okay.
So if you look at these guys at the very beginning of this track, they're not in line. So,
So grab two, line them up.
yeah, so here's what needs to happen. There. Line those guys up in the front. That's the line there. Cut that off. Get rid of that guy. Delete that guy. Cut that guy. Now they should seamlessly loop. I hope. Nope.
That'll be right.
Oh. So that front frame is the same frame we have to stop on every time. So that frame needs to go down to here. One time, spins again. The question that I have though is that it's actually making more than one rotation on the loop. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So that frame right there, let me delete this real quick. Well, let me actually do this and close that. Make this guy. So that frame right there has to match.
Which keys are you using to do that with on the keyboard?
Holding Alt and the arrow keys down.
Alt and arrow, okay.
Lined up. So this guy has to go there. And this guy has to cut there. So now that thing should loop.
Well, for our demo purposes, can you take even if it's not a complete loop and do it just with one of the cuts to show the process?
Yeah, but I need to figure out because I think you guys are looping. So once this is done, you have your loop. Oops, tell me when to go.
Go ahead and go. So explain to me exactly what we're doing from when we have the loop created.
Okay, so now the loop is created. Once the loop is created, if you could do Control M, that brings up your export box.
The encoder, okay.
Yep. No, it's just your export.
Okay.
Okay. And then if you hit Q, it actually goes into Media Encoder here.
All right.
Once you're in Media Encoder, you actually grab the JPEG sequence,
Okay.
drag it up there.
And you patch it to that folder.
Yeah. Now you choose where you want it to go, whatever your stock number was. have to choose the right guy first. There it is, right there.
Okay.
And then it should be, and then you can make a file or however you want to do this, the extract file,
Okay.
save it in there. I'll pause your recording a second.
All right.
I'm just going to go in and delete these guys that we already did.
That's fine. I'll edit it.
See, the network to me doesn't work very fast. That's just my thing. But it's deleting right now, okay?
Okay, that's fine. I did my loops and I was within a frame at the time frame with masking tape.
Okay, I think that's done now. Okay, so back to media encoder.
Okay.
Essentially, you choose the stock number.
Okay.
Then there's an extract folder. Grab
Okay.
that extract folder. Doesn't really matter what you call it, but let's call it vehicle name. Select that, and then you also need to choose where that guy's going to be, right? That's your actual spinning video.
Okay.
So you'll save them both into the same spot. Fine. And then once that happens, you just click play.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to actually delete this because it's already in there. But once you hit play, that will start grabbing all of the stills out of that video and we'll extract them into that folder.
The extract folder.
Yep.
Okay.
Whatever you create. You can call
All
it
right.
anything you want, temp or whatever. And then we can pause while it's doing that.
And to do that, it's going to be better to do that in a certain file than it would with the whole car files.
Somewhere, no, it's in the car file.
Right, but you do that instead of in the whole car
In
file.
the root of
Yes,
that, yes.
okay.
I mean, you can do it there, but what you need, the reason I'm doing it this way is because you need a clean folder for the software to go in and see. If you do it in this folder where you already have photos, it's gonna, those photos are gonna mess up the order, right? Because now you have 26 different items that it has to look through.
Okay,
So that's why you want to create a clean folder in there.
I understand. Okay.
So it'll take just a minute. I want to go back to this rotation thing real fast.
All right.
Because that's making more than one complete revolution. So if it starts there, that's the frame I need. Okay, so I have my looping video here to test it. I'm just hitting Alt and dragging it to the other video track. And then I'm snapping it into the end of there, and then I'm playing. And I can tell that it's fine.
Okay.
Once you have that, you need to delete that second track because this is the only one you need.
Okay.
So we'll go through that again because I thought I did something. Did I push the wrong button?
What?
Yeah. Ready?
Okay, 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, so you sent everything to the extract file.
That's right. So the extract file is here. It's
Okay.
underneath the stock number extract. So underneath of here I have 1,888 frames.
1888, okay?
I'll tell you right here on the bottom, right there, how many.
Okay.
And then if you want 18 stills out of 1,888, which it hopefully should be starting to get pretty close to the same
Number.
amount, divided by 18, 104.8. So we'll try 105. So you open the software that we wrote. It's called McCluskey Frame Extractor.
Okay.
You grab where the stills are, which they're in the extract folder. Select that. You can grab this guy and copy it.
What's that?
So you highlight it and hit Control C.
Okay.
Put it in the output folder, Control V, and then what I'm doing is I'm taking that guy out of there.
So basically, you're going to have them extract out and go back in the same
right,
file.
Right into the same root stock number.
Oh, okay. All
Because
right.
we're only grabbing the 18s, right?
Yes.
So we're calling it Nissan Sentra.
Uh-huh.
And we want every, what did we say, 105? Every 105 frames.
Mm-hmm.
JPEG is fine. Process.
So we'll label them like 1 through 18. Nissan Sentra 118,
That's correct.
or 1 through 18.
So here's the folder I just created,
Okay.
and there's the 18 stills.
Okay.
You can copy those and put them right in here if you want.
I
There
see.
they are.
Okay.
Actually, it only did 17, so my numbers were off, right?
Right.
So, delete that guy. Delete those guys. Back to the software, so 104. Yep. Oops. 4. Process that again. Grab this guy. There's our Nissan Sentra. There's your 18 stills.
Okay.
Grab those 18, put them in here. And then here, we'll just check the rotation on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oops. I think I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. These are the listing photos now.
Okay.
And they're all under the root. So they start with 19. These are the images that you guys took of the interior and
Right.
exterior. And they're all right there. And then there's the spinny video.
Okay.
So you can actually get rid of these guys if you want.
Sure.
Shift delete, goodbye.
So there's no confusion there.
That's right. It doesn't keep it on this system in any way. And everything is clean. There should probably be 43 files in here when you're all done.
Now, when we get ready to do the photos, we're going to do them the same process for the
App?
application, but would they need to be labeled different?
That's a good question. I think Jack has got to get with Swordfish and figure out how they're going to pull those stills, because what you're going to do is you're going to extract those stills and then somebody has to clean them up in Photoshop.
Right.
So then you can control how you save those out.
I wonder if we could go like a number has nothing to do with these, like 50 and above,
Could do that, whatever works.
You know,
so
50
you
or-
could say app photos start at 50 or 60 or something.
100 or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that explains it.
Okay. I'm
All right.
still deleting all that crap because there's no reason
All
to
right.
keep
I feel
all that.
comfortable doing this. That's fine.
Actually looping, right?
Right.
So what's another number that you guys know that you've done?
No, we've done.
Yeah.
What do you need in it? Anything
finish another loop or another package? Or,
There's also a whole bunch of JPEGs in here. Did you know that? Like, what are those JPEGs for?
those are probably tests of different vehicles.
There's a lot in there.
Okay, and what file are those in?
That's right on the root of W.
Okay.
You ready for
Oh, you know what? I think that has something to do with the way, because I was asking Elizabeth about that the other day. We used to could pick out a stock number, and then below it would be all these pictures that go with it, and they weren't in the file.
Yeah.
All right, so if I go to here, like, this will give you some kind of sense of what's happening. So these are all your stock number folders,
Okay.
and then outside the folder, you've got all these images.
I have no idea why that is, or what will cause that.
From there to there. I'm just getting the properties on it. 8,291, no, 10,000 files.
That means somehow they did not go into the actual folder they were supposed to.
And some of them are really big. Like this, you'll watch this climb quite a bit, I'm sure.
Somebody's putting them in the wrong file, or else would someone?
Started and did it maybe in the wrong file.
Okay.
54 gigabytes that's just sitting out there doing
That's a lot.
nothing. If I were you, I would ask Jack about that.
Okay.
These especially, that's not even anything. Let's see what, let me grab a bigger guy. White escape spin. Pretty sure y'all don't need that.
That was a capture that was done yesterday, it looks like.
Let's see if it,
It's called Entitled, so that has to do some way when it was.
so here's the problem. This
Yeah.
is what I suspected. So this is where it starts, right?
Okay.
See it starting? When you get to the end of the video, I have it on repeat. Watch. Brink, it starts
Yeah.
over. Because you're not creating an actual looping file. You can't just cut the end, you have to cut the beginning too. That's why everything should be the same frame count, and it's not.
Now, I wonder if that's just the raw thing.
This
I
says
mean,
spin, right? It's the MP4. So the AVI is what's captured.
So all this, that's just
Everything you've spun so far is not looping.
okay.
That's my guess. Like I'm saying, like give me a stock number that you know is done.
Yeah.
Somebody's done. Okay.
So here's one. A932
A932.
22. Just kidding, that's a 0. 20.
20.
So I'll say again. A932
Yep.
20
Yep.
PP. Did anything come up?
Yeah, so we have two different.
One is
one's
with the doors open.
Okay, so there's where it started. That's a
Okay.
big truck, right?
It's a big truck.
So let's go to here and see if it loops. Whoops. Go on repeat here. I can already tell it's not going to. It's already too far this way. See?
Which is a problem.
It's a huge problem. Which is why these stills, the 18 extracted stills, aren't going to match.
They won't
So-
all be the same.
That's right. So if I drag this guy into here, we can actually test this, right? So let's drag this guy into here. I mean, all I'm doing is unlinking the audio because we don't
Sure.
need the file in there. So there's the front. If I duplicate this guy over to here,
It won't match.
I'll bet you anything it doesn't loop. Bank. So, I don't know why he's got his tools so big there, but whatever, doesn't matter. So here's what I'm thinking needs to happen. You grab this guy, so that's the same size, so you've got to get it to the looping point again, right? So let's drop that guy there. So you have to find where that guy starts again. Okay, so let's do it this way. So that's actually where it loops.
So it is what, about,
So here is what is happening. So if you cut that guy right there and delete that dude, whoops. Oh wait, let me control Z that guy. If I put this dude back there. So that is, right now that's spinning the same amount. So go back to this guy, cut this guy off. These two should be identical. Delete. Grab this guy, go to here. It's gonna jump. Yep, good. Okay. So I left that in just to see. Now if I move that back,
okay, so what I want you to do is run through that whole thing with me.
okay, hold on. I gotta make sure before I open my mouth yet again. I'm gonna check last time. Make sure I didn't mess something up here. I did. Okay, hang on. I'm missing a step in there. So undo this guy, undo that guy. So this guy has to come in there. What am I missing on that? Hang on. Okay, so right now that is creating the loop. That is correct. What I'm having a problem with is that's the starting point, which is lower. And this has to be, the finishing point has to be there, which is this guy. Oh, maybe if I do this.
Got it?
Got it.
All right, I'm recording now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this is the captured video that we just captured off of the turntable. So we bring that in there. And we have a start point that's right there, and we have a finish point. And actually this goes past, right? It spins twice. Okay?
Okay.
So all we have to do is I hit Control L and I unlink the file, and then I delete the audio.
Okay.
Now I find roughly where that starting point is, and I'm copying over that clip onto itself so I can look at it. I'm dropping the opacity down of the top frame, and if you look right here, you can see how it's overlaid, how it looks blurry. So what I have to do is I have to bump this guy to make sure that he's lined up. And all I'm doing is hitting Alt and the arrow keys to move the track.
Okay.
So I can move it a whole lot.
Okay.
So once I have it where it's lined up,
Can you show the out of alignment and go in alignment again, please?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
So there it is out of alignment.
Okay.
There it is in alignment.
Okay.
Right there. That's where I want it to be. So what that tells me where that playhead is I need to cut each one of these. So I use the C or the cut tool, which is the razor tool.
Okay.
And I cut this track and I cut this track.
And what point are you cutting them at?
Right at the playhead. See where the playhead is
Yes.
there?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's where I determine it makes its loop,
Okay. And they match up.
and they match up.
Okay.
So if I play this right now, it'll match. It'll be seamless.
Okay.
But because I wanted it at a very specific point, which is the front of that line.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let me double check and make sure I'm still in alignment because I moved it. Yeah, I'm still good right there. I think that's good. So I know that the front of that is where my loop starts. So actually, all I need to do is cut that bottom track now.
Okay.
And delete that. Delete that. And all I'm doing is zooming in and zooming out with the plus and minus keys.
Okay.
So I know that that is one complete rotation. If I copy this guy over to test it, it'll snap into the end, and God willing, that thing will just go up and keep right on going
Like it did there.
like it did there. If you
Okay.
want to test it again, create another track and make sure that it's good, and play it, and it's looping. That makes sense?
Oh, yes, it does.
Okay. And then all I'm doing now is deleting those other tracks that I duplicated, and this is the section that I need to send to Media Encoder. Just hit Control M from this point,
Okay.
and Q, and it
Yes.
goes into Media Encoder just like we showed before.
Okay. And what are you going to encode that as? What file?
Well, right now it just defaults to an MP4, which is
Okay.
what we want.
All right.
And then you also drag from the preset browser, you'll drag the JPEG sequence up to that you just copied, and now it'll create a JPEG, all of the JPEGs that you need, and the video file.
What is the top one up? Is that an old
That's
one?
an old one. Get rid
Okay.
of it. We don't need it. We've already used it. It's
Okay.
done. Don't need it.
So it's going to be.
So then you select that folder where that's going. Go into the W and whatever that stock number is of that truck.
Okay.
Do you need it?
It's okay.
It's A932T0PP.
Okay. And then that's where all of that can go to.
So we would make our extract file to go into there.
Exactly. If you right click in here, you say new folder, just extract,
And that's where we're going to put all those photos.
and that's where you're going to put all the photos. You can call it whatever you want. Truck, it doesn't matter. And then this needs to go into the same folder,
The
right?
truck folder.
Yep. Whatever that AA29PP was, this guy. And just that, you can just save that right into the root.
Okay.
Once you're done with that, you hit
Play.
play.
And it starts
And it
extracting.
starts doing it.
Okay.
Now here's the thing that you can do. See, we have multiple vehicles over here, right?
Right.
So once you captured all those vehicles, you can drag them all in there, and now you can start creating your other loop videos in there. Once that's done, you can send it to the media encoder, cue that out. Now there's more ready to go. That just pops in there. It's already up over here.
Okay.
So that's what I was saying about doing multiple shoots. You can stop if you want. That's fine, but okay. So if you let me sit there, and then I'll delete everything and you can try it. Okay, so here's the scoop. No, line it up. Alright, here's the deal. So I'm gonna use, I'm just gonna start a new comp here. New sequence is fine, I don't care. So this was the one I was working on, right? So this is,
Until 9 o'clock with the text and all that. It, 9 o'clock before I
So that starts there, right? But the issue is that first of all, it does 2 loops, right? So it does 2 revolutions. There's 1. And then it comes back around and goes past. There's 2 and then some. Right? Does that make sense?
That's what you did.
No, I didn't do that. This is just off of your loop file. That's the name of it. Your Ben's loop file.
That must have been.
Okay, so whatever it is, we'll work from here. So we need it to be just 1 rotation, right?
Right.
So all I do, Control L, unlinks that file, and then I delete the audio. Okay? So I mean, anytime you have that linked, all I do is get rid of the audio. It's easier. So if I see what that is, and then I kind of go, all right, I think it's close to right there. Right? So all I'm doing is duplicating. You know how to do that. But the important part about this is this frame right here that I'm looking at, this very first frame, is the most important frame. Because that's gonna tell me where my loop exists on this guy. So, and you know how we go in here and we drop the opacity of this, right? So what I have to do is get that in the same spot. I just use shortcuts because I'm a shortcut guy. So once I get it where I think it's lined up, which is right there, this frame right here is the most important frame.
What do you mean by the gray and the cayenne?
That's blue right there.
Okay, so I'm not where I need to be. So now I'm good. Okay, but that still is the most important frame because I know at that very moment where this thing starts, that's where that thing loops. So I know from there to there is 1 revolution. Okay, you were taking, I think, and dragging these guys, like you were just putting the playhead and then dragging this one this way and this one this way.
No, just one side.
Just one side. Okay.
Just the top.
But we don't want to drag anything. What we want to do is we want to cut. I want to cut that bottom one to match that top one. And then I want to delete that. Now I know that this right here is 1 revolution.
Okay, well, give you an example. We sent you something.
I'm just gonna.
I'll tell you who it's from. Who's this from?
And the way we can test that and check that, right, is to duplicate this guy. Snap it into the backside, and let's just watch and see. And jump a
Okay,
bit.
see that? Okay.
So if it jumped a bit, you go in here and I find why it jumped.
It's safe. It's safe, it's good.
Okay, so that's not quite right.
Screenshot of the
This
call.
guy out a little bit. Drop this opacity again, so I can see.
You can't see it?
Now, if you want to do dragging, you can drag this to there, right? And if you don't want to cut it,
They can't adjust it.
still just a little bit. But it's close, right? So that's 1 rotation. So now you're done. That's it.
Okay.
And if you wanted to test it again,
Got you.
you don't have to do anything else. It's just you snap it into there, and you can snap it into that guy. See how it snaps in there? You know that. So rotate. It's jumping just a bit, but that's okay. Let's check and make sure that it goes to there.
Okay. All right. But, but what I need is.
Same thing.
If this doesn't.
So that's 1 revolution. And then when we go to get the stills, this is what you'll send to that media encoder, right?
Print out what.
And then
So,
Okay, so we can.
you can try it. You can try it.
no, wait a minute now. Like, okay, so that's where it started at. That's the starting point.
That's the starting point.
And then the ending point would be somewhere around there. Scroll it to the end.
The file that we gave them is not editable. How do we make it editable?
Basically, when
That I can't help with.
and basically when I rolled the taste of it around, it basically was getting it to the basically back to the closest to the beginning
How
of
do
the
we
point
get,
where
how
it
do
was.
how do they get edited?
Yeah, I think what was happening, I saw you yesterday, so this guy's way out there, right? So when you duplicated this guy over here, you can get this to line up, right?
Can you take a JPEG and make
This
it?
is what you were doing. So then you were actually zooming in, whatever this is here, you were zooming in and then dragging it until it matched up, right?
Right.
But once you have it matched up, I think this is what you were doing.
And EJ, you got all them at home or on a hard drive or something?
You don't have any PSDs at all that you sent? No, I guess you wouldn't have sent a photo.
I don't have nothing on me.
Okay, so
Oh.
this,
Yeah.
So-
I thought we was done with it.
so we lined it up there.
I did too.
Yesterday when I was here, you
He got rid
pulled
of
this
everything.
way, pulled this way.
I have to, hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
I have to see, then when I go home, I'll look on the hard flash drive. And see.
Somewhere, we probably have a PSD.
Sorry, Steve, but these are the
Okay.
labels.
I'm
that
sure
are
I do.
critical to
Sure, of course.
where we're at.
I'm sure I do, but
Can you check and let me know right when you go home?
He can check that, I'm gonna go pick up the print, because sometimes what comes
okay, go ahead.
on this, and it shows,
So they printed one copy off the
that's it, they stopped it. You know, they stopped the print, and the printer, a good printer, does, looks at it.
But you'll get it bringing it in the morning or?
Yeah, as soon as I get it, I'll bring it. I'm gonna, this is top priority for me.
Okay.
All right?
Oh, I meant were you gonna go now and come back?
No,
Or?
I can't, they'll be closed by the time I get
That's
there.
what I figured.
I'll get it tomorrow, and I'll
We'll
bring
be
it
here
back.
at 8, so whatever.
And I'll be able to talk to them a little bit too while I'm there.
And if you have that, would you be able to bring it into here or it's on your home PC?
That's on my flash drive.
So you could bring it in here and do something on these computers to get it in the right form that he needs.
What file did they send to you, by the way,
I don't
that you printed from? Was it a PDF?
No,
I
JPEG.
think it was a.
JPEG.
Yeah. So they can't, I guess they did what they could with it.
Well, that's
Color
how,
scheme.
you sent me JPEG pictures of what you changed in Photoshop. And that's what I forwarded on to these guys. So what file do they need to be able to?
PSD or AI, one of the two.
That's it, I don't understand
The
that.
Photoshop
the saved program.
So how can
Like
he?
everything, like all the stuff that, when I was working on it, all the saved project. It's the saved project.
So how,
Right.
so he could just send that to me in that file format?
I'll just give you the flash drive.
They need the PSD file because
Right.
they're going to just edit that color within the PSD file. When you send a JPEG or whenever it flattens it. They can't do anything with it.
Right,
Just
but what
smashes
he
it.
has in his flash drive, can that be
It's
emailed
a
to me?
PSD. I don't know how big's your PSD. Typically, they're big.
Or I need to
Yeah.
give it, he
You got a
gives me the
Dropbox?
flash drive and I need
Dropbox.
to give it to him. To take
No,
to them people.
You can Dropbox it or we transfer it or something like
You're
that.
in a foreign language to me.
You can eat it.
Google Drive.
There's multiple ways that he can upload to a service online that they can go download it. That's what I would say. Don't bring the flash drive. It's going to take too long. Just when you get home, upload it to Dropbox, send him the link.
You got a card on you?
I'll get one of them.
Or go to WeTransfer.com. That's what I always
Yeah.
use.
That's
We
the-
WeTransfer and just WeTransfer it to him. The actual PSD.
If I give him his direct email, he could just,
Absolutely. He'll send him a link where he can go
This is
download
an
it.
old card, but it has my, this is the one I bring to bars, just in case I get some business. I never get-
Blue Oyster.
I never-
Blue Oyster Bar,
I never- I
yeah.
never get any business, so.
Why is Trevor's name on the back? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
There's my email, so I know it's my name. Okay? DougDowdy@etsco.net.
Alrighty.
you keep me posted when you get that to him and I'll make sure you get a little extra time on your check this week. We're working from home.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Eggs, bro.
Oh, you have one having like taking care of you, so,
I know you do.
you know, so, I mean, this is,
I don't-
this is priority.
I don't care.
Because as long as we're doing these videos of these cars and putting them outside and they get taken to the other stores, they're getting redone by another vendor because our labels aren't in them to mark them. But we can't tell that other vendor that we're dropping them yet.
I understand.
But if the window labels are in them, they're gonna think they already did them, they're not gonna stop to do them.
I understand that.
So it's,
I get it. So you're trying to fool somebody.
because
I
we
get it.
need them to do our new cars for a little while longer.
Okay.
Deal with Spruce.
Deal specialist.
Tomorrow and bang, bang.
How long did you work for them?
12 years.
12 years?
Back there.
Worked for us a little bit too, didn't you? Do you work for SNL?
They tried
So
to get
anyway,
me.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's
we
right.
created
Not
the
Barbara.
looping
Greg
part,
Barber's
right?
got
So
it.
once it gets to
John's
there,
sorry.
it's looping.
Yeah.
See how it starts?
Okay, let me
That's how-
record him talking here.
Is that how I was doing it?
Yeah, so you just find the place, because this is still, the opacity of this guy is still down, right? So you can see through him, but we know that it's there. But then you would drag this and snap it into there, and drag that and snap it into there,
And that
which
would
is
be-
right.
And that would be the starting point, though.
It's right, that's right, it'll loop. Watch, like, it'll be fine. It loops.
But that ain't the starting point.
But that's not the starting point, that's right, that was the problem. This, right here, is the starting point. Because it's the start of that, right? So you duplicated this up. So you know that that frame right there is that frame right there.
And
So
that's where I
all
want.
you gotta
That's
do-
where I want to drag my.
Drag that back, delete that, and then you can check it like this. Boom, and let's see if it loops. It does, but there's a little jitter in the front of that.
That's
But
probably
how you-
because the beginning it starts
It
off.
starts a ramp or something
Then
weird.
it-
That's right. That's right. That's right. But that's now, this section right there is all you want to send out.
Gotcha. Easy.
Easy. Easy.
Good job.